Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I would like to talk to you about some of the biggest mistakes that new business analysts can make in investment banking, that eventually it can slow their career, frustrate stakeholders, and make projects harder than they need to be. New business analysts who are entering in investment banking, they think that they have to learn all the trading flowing in 1 week, but the truth is that you don't. Markets are complex, systems are complex, and products are complex as well. So if you try to learn everything immediately, then eventually it can lead to the confusion and bad documentation. In order to fix this, you need to focus on one product, one system, one flow at a time, and ask traders or SME people who are expert in their area targeted question like, for example, what is the part of the flow that break most of the time? Or what is the most important outcomes of this process? I have seen that too many business analysts in investment banking, they show up at the meeting just to write the notes. But people like traders, they need the clarity. If you only capture what people say, then at the end you will not add any value. So in order to fix this, you need to become a person who will summarize the problem, outlines conflicts, maybe bring out some of the requirements that needs to be implemented, try to highlight and propose a solution around it. For example, if you're trying to say, based on what I'm hearing, the core of the problem is X, does it sound right? So by saying that, you are showing that you're really a BA and you understand what the problem and what traders or your stakeholders are dealing with. Another important thing I would like to highlight here, that front office stakeholders are very busy and you need to chase them in order to get answers. Because if you don't get answer, then the project that you manage stalls, and in the end you will be blamed, not them. After each meeting with the stakeholder, especially what has been working for me, I am sending direct and short follow-ups. Here I want to summarize that I understand a clear requirements and the problem. So I'm looking here for their approval. And second part, if there is solution that we need to implement, I should come up with different option A or B, and here I'm also looking for their approval to make sure my understanding will align with them. Another things that I have seen in investment banking, that long documentation sometimes can frustrate stakeholders, but new business analysts, they love long paragraph. You have to make sure the documentation that you produce can be easily scanned, understood instantly, because otherwise you might create a lot of confusion and you will have to rework your documentation again and again. So in order to fix this, at a high level I suggest we need to have one clear requirements description, bullet points, acceptance criteria, because at the end of the day your job is clarity, not literature. Investment banking is a fast, direct, and unfortunately sometimes can be a bit aggressive. What I have seen that new business analysts, for very often they can stay too quiet. In particular when deadlines slip or there is requirements conflict. And that silence can be very expensive. And in order to fix this, you need to push professionally. So for example, if you're working with the same team of the stakeholders and there was not long time ago that they have asked you to build some requirements and few days after they asking about other requirements. So you need to make sure that both of them, they are not conflicting each other, or maybe you need to review if there is enough resources in your team to work on the new requirements. Or maybe the best scenario is to highlight real expectation and estimate time when the second delivery can be done. Or saying like, look, you're requesting to make change B, but this might cause delay in delivery change A. Is this accepted to you? Also, one thing that so far have been working for me. If sometimes I'm dealing with different stakeholders, not just stakeholders from one division. So, and all of them, for example, they have different point of view or urgency, right, and requirements, importance. So once I receive any new requirements, I somehow map them to the dashboard, importance, delivery, and also I try to map them versus business impact. And this can be a good signal or limitation to show them based on the business impact and maybe regulatory deadlines. I think these requirements it's much more important, and based on the resources that we have, we can deliver by this time, and other requirements that we discuss in the recent meeting, we propose to deliver by that time. So also by summarizing and providing that to your stakeholders, you're showing them that you're paying attention on their pains and you're actively working on the resolution, but you also understanding the business impact and regulatory sides, right, of the project. Another mistake that I have seen in investment banking, that new business analysts, they do not have control of their meeting. In particular, in the investment banking, you will find yourself working as business analyst but also project manager at the same time, which means that you're responsible also for the project deliveries. Saying that, for example, once a month or once a week, I would have a regular meeting with all my stakeholders which are involved in the project that I manage. So saying that, sometimes on that meeting there would be 10 or more people present and from the different divisions of the bank. And this meeting can turn into the chaos if I don't control the room. So in order to act professionally, the most important thing is always to be prepared to have our own agenda. Also, I would usually send that agenda prior to the call to make sure that stakeholders, they understand the priority and objectives of the upcoming call. And if there is a moment of debate, I suggest to end the conversation and saying something like, let's take this offline, or maybe we can discuss this in another meeting because of the objective of today's meeting is X. And this is a small tip, but it can help you to gain respect among your stakeholders. So we went just through some of the biggest mistakes that new business analysts make in investment banking, and more importantly, we discussed how to avoid them. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this one, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And thank you very much for watching me, and see you in the next video.